I don't really buy magazines like that. So
yeah.
But Wick said, did you ever listen to that group she told you about, Wick Earthgang?
Oh damn! I will. I'm sorry. Don't beat me.
Are they hip hop?
Yeah, they're kind of like she was telling me that they were kind of like an outcast.
Okay.
Type group.
I'm gonna look them up later on after the podcast. I'm gonna look them up. Earthgang.
Yeah, she did tell me about that.
If they're any good, man, I'd love to hear them. So, but yeah. So Wu-Tang is doing big things right now, trying to really celebrate their 25th anniversary, and you know, I think that's what made that Logic song so good. Perfect timing. You know, they've been getting a lot of exposure. You know, going to different shows and stuff like that. And like you said, Raekwon did the Rock the Bells interview, so that's dope. Was it him by himself?
Yeah, it was just him. But you know, they just doing it. And see, also too, they're doing like a whole thing like for the whole 25th anniversary. Like I think now through Friday, they like, you know, if they play a Wu-Tang song, I think like one of the members is gonna like kind of, you know, they got like an excerpt, like one of the members will talk about, like, well, this song came about because of this and
Oh, speaking of anniversaries, almost forgot. Slick Rick did the same thing. His either 20th or 25th anniversary just came out, like within the past few weeks, like 2 weeks. So he's doing an anniversary edition of his first album, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. And
not so long ago, while people were having to live life slow. The law was stirred and justice stood, and people were behaving like they were so good. There's another little boy who got misled by another little boy. This is what he said. Me and you, so we're gonna make some cash. Robbing old folks and making a dash.
That's classic right there. Man, there's not one song on that album that I don't like. I like every single song on that album, because you know, a lot of albums you be like, okay, I like 6 songs, and then the other ones are just okay, you know what I mean? Or I like 5 songs and the rest are okay. This album, I loved every single song. This was the first album I ever bought that I liked every single song. And he's doing an anniversary edition where he's releasing it on vinyl, CD.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, and he's got like apparel, like Slick Rick t-shirts with the art, the album cover on it. So it's dope, and you can buy other apparel with it. I saw it online, so that was pretty dope. And it's got different versions of the vinyl album. They got one that's just a traditional black, and one that was red in color.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Since you said vinyl, yeah, that shit's coming back. Mm-hmm. I want to say something. Like I went to Walmart the other day, and I think I was just in there. I was just looking around because I had to get my allergy medicine. Yeah. But it was crazy, man. They talking, because you know they're talking about getting rid of CDs and stuff. Yeah. Altogether. But
the vinyl making a comeback. So
they
should keep the CD around because.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Everybody, do not throw your CDs out. Yeah. You gotta, and if you got a CD player, hold on to it because they're coming back around. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They already got little shit for like but for the vinyl, they got like record players that got Bluetooth in them. They
yeah. That's what's up, man.
I think they're like $40. Hey, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, y'all hold on to your shits. I'm for real, cause like this shit's coming back around.
Yeah, man. So definitely, hip hop is making a strong comeback in general, man. In these last few years, man. Just a real hip hop. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with the younger, rappers who do more of that mumble style of rapping. I mean, do your thing. The only thing I disagree with them about, I don't care for that style of rapping, but still make your money. Only thing I don't like is that they really look at the older OGs like they don't matter anymore. You know what I mean? They look at people like Wu-Tang and they're like, nah, them dudes, they old, nobody care about you. And see, you don't do that. In hip-hop, the unspoken rule is that you always pay homage to those who came before you. You know what I mean? Even back to like Run DMC, they paid homage to the people who came before them. And the people who came after Run DMC paid homage to them. You know what I mean? The people like your Kendricks, they pay homage, And it's not that you gotta be a dick rod or anything, but you know, just acknowledge, you know, if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I really just don't care about a lot of the younger rappers, because they just think like they invented rap or something, like it was just nothing before them. And so it's like, you know, it's kind of whack, man. But
let's talk about this too, man. So, you know, talking about the Wu-Tang, like, and just rappers in general, like I was getting ready to leave, having to work. My mom, she was like, "What are these guys saying?" Like, she was looking at the Jeep, like she was looking at it, and she was like, "What are these guys saying?" Well, that's the Wu-Tang. He said, "Yeah, that's the Wu-Tang gang." Look, Mom, it's the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang gang.
But I don't know what they saying.
Right.
And but it's just funny now. It's like the rap that we was listening to when we were, you know, coming up. People hated that shit, right?
Yeah.
But now they're so infatuated with it. Like, for instance, Ice Cube is a perfect example. I mean, niggas used to love to hate his ass.
Hated him.
Niggas used to, I'm the niggas you love to hate.
They hated on Cube so hard. You know, your music is perpetuating gangster lifestyle.
Oh my God. Man, all that man with the wide nose breathes up all the air talking about he's the one he loves to hate. Oh my God. I just, that Ice Cube, oh my God.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Right. So it's just one of those things, man. I mean, it's, you know, that's always going to be, the older generation is going to think that the younger generation is making bad choices with their music, you know. So that's why I said I don't care if these younger guys are making their money. It's not really my choice. But, you know, I'm not going to say I just hate you or anything like that. Your music is not really what I care for. So do your thing. I hope you make all your money. You know what I mean? But like you said, you know, the older OGs in our days when we was kids, they did the same thing to us. We don't like that rap music, you know what I mean? But I think it's because of what your ear is accustomed to. So before hip hop was a big thing, the older people were accustomed to the slower R&B, stuff like that, where they can really understand. Yeah. So once you start rapping and you saying words a lot faster, now they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All that rapping noise. You know, we don't want to hear that. We can't even understand what you're saying. So, you know, we get it. I get it. You know what I mean? So I don't, you know, I'm not going to buy like an album from like Migos and none of them. You know what I mean? That's not my style of music. But I respect the fact that y'all making your money. Do your thing, you know, I just choose a different style of rap, you know what I mean? So, and I think for the younger generation, you have to learn to appreciate the older generation as well. Because like, when people like Run DMC and all of them were coming up, and Big Daddy Kane and Slick Rick and all of them, they respected what came before them. So that's why they were sampling a lot of the older music, because they was like, yo, this song was so dope from when I was a kid. I want to sample that and rap over that. You know what I mean? Just bring some new flavor to it. So, you know, nowadays, you know, nobody does that anymore. They're like, oh, nah, that stuff is whack, man. We don't want to rap over that, because we want to rap in this way and blah, blah, blah. So that's why,
I want to rap like
right.
In that. And when I talk about rap like that. And I get on the mic and rap. What I do is talk about getting all this stuff. Right. And I get money! Get the, you ever seen the one that look like there's something like they're hyperventilating? Like, Steve, do, breathe. I'm like, man, if you don't shut the hell up and get the fucking paper bag, you know, hyperventilating ass. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, that's basically what you should call it, just hype music. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because, like, some music is just good to get you hype. You know, so some of these youngsters can really get you hype. I'll give them that. You know what I mean? But I'm a fan of lyricism. So I like people who know how to get some bars going and really make you think. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's like, when you're thinking of a rapper versus somebody who does hip-hop, you know, and, you know, rhyming, you know what I mean? I think for me, you know, the one who does rhyming and hip hop, they're going to say something that's gonna resonate with you, that makes you think, oh, how did he come up with it? That was so clever that he mixed those two things and made them into something synonymous. You know what I mean? So you don't see that a lot. You know, nowadays, you know, the younger guys, they just want to get you hyped. You know what I mean? Hit him. Hey, you know, it's all about the A. You know? Right. It's like every single one of them does that. So it's just like, y'all don't realize that y'all sound just alike, some of y'all, you know what I mean? But I was talking to one of my daughters a couple of weeks ago because there was a concert here that she was supposed to go to for A&T's homecoming. And they were supposed to have Cardi B and Future.
Yeah, Cardi B canceled, which I was kind of disappointed in that.
Yeah, and
she would have tore this shit down.
Future was supposed to be there, and a bunch of other people. And what was so funny to me, because this is my stepdaughter, and she's like 17 going on 18. So she was like, yeah, since Cardi ain't coming, you know, I'm not going because I'm not really into the other people. And she was naming off the different people that were supposed to be there. And she mentioned Future. She was like, yeah, Future, he's like 1,000 years old, so I'm not going to see him.
Wow.
And I'm like, you look at Future like he 1,000?
Yeah,
come
like,
on.
damn. He just...
He part of your generation. You know what I mean? If anything, so... But that's the thing, man. That's the young mindset nowadays. You know what I mean? Once they consider you old, they don't want to hear you no more. You know what I mean? I'm like... That's crazy. You know what I mean? Because I still would love to hear people like Slick Rick. Slick Rick came through this town last year.
Oh, the fair. Right. Man, I should have went for that for $20.
I went and I saw it, man. He put on a good show. Dougie Fresh that came like a week or so before that. He put on a good show. I was mad that they didn't come the same week because they would have really killed it. But, man, I mean, those dudes been in the game over 20 years. And I can still appreciate their music. You looking at somebody like Future, and he, you know, something he did 5 years ago, you consider ancient.
Damn.
It's like, I don't get it, man. If you really like this artist, it don't matter how old they are. You should still be able to say, I still like their music. But that also speaks to the music itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your music ain't as timeless. So that's also a reflection of Future as an artist. He's decent, but I don't think too much of his music is timeless. And that's probably the case with a lot of the younger generation of rappers, you know what I mean?
That's another thing too, you know, just to piggyback off him.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to go to a Slick Rick Dougie Fresh show, yeah, don't do like I do.
Yeah.
Nah, you motherfucking go.
Yeah, man.
You go.
Especially
because I'm telling you, you're going to have a good time.
Especially Dougie Fresh.
God, man.
They called, his nickname was the greatest entertainer, and that he lives up to that. He really knows how to entertain you, you know what I mean? And it was just like, wow, you know, I was not expecting this because even though Dougie Fresh has been around for a long time, he doesn't have a big catalog of music. You know what I mean? He's got music, but he never put out like 5, 6, 7 albums. You know what I mean? He only had like 2.
Don't really need to, though.
Right. But I'm just saying, based off of his smaller catalog, he can still keep you entertained. You know what I mean? And Slick Rick did a good job too when he came. You know what I mean? He did his classics plus some of his newer work. You know what I mean? So that was dope. And it's just one of those things, man. You know, if you can still appreciate an artist like that, they're doing right. They're doing their job. You know what I mean? I can still go back and watch a Big Daddy Kane concert, even though he came out in 88. 87.
Yeah, he came to the was it the Dicon over here in
Wendover?
Yeah, then East Wendover. He came over there like a couple years ago. Man, dope performance.
Okay, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, dope performance.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Matter of fact, I got pictures somewhere. So they're blurry pictures on my Facebook. Y'all go check that out. Yeah.
He's another one that puts on a good show, man. I mean, he's one of them. You could call him a great entertainer too, because some rappers are, even though they're great lyricists, they don't put on a great show. You know what I mean? And Big Daddy Kane puts on a show. So I gotta give him credit for that, man. I think they were doing another Comic-Con this weekend too, in Durham, I think.
Oh yeah,
this weekend or next
weekend.
Yeah, and then I got one coming up here in the borough I think in January. I think. But yeah, so Comic-Con is coming here pretty soon, but I don't think it's gonna be any, celebrity guests or anything other than the comic book makers themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
No musicians or anything like that. But yeah, so shout out to Slick Rick for the 25th anniversary of his joint. Great Adventures of Slick Rick.
Oh, shout out to Triad too. I think Triad's got like a anniversary for Midnight Marauders.
That's what's up, man.
I think they came out around the same time.
There was a lot of albums that came out in the 90s and 80s, man. That's just, turning 20 and 30 years old now and stuff. So, and a lot of them was classics, man. I mean, just, what year was The Chronic? The Chronic was 93. Was it 92?
92.
You might be right.
I think it was 92.
Yeah, 92.
Because 92. Snoop's Doggy Style came out in 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they
were just dropping so much, you know what I mean? From Dre to Snoop to Daz and Corrupt, and all of them was just dropping so much at one time. It was just a blur, man. So yeah. So The Chronic turned 20 years old in 2012.
Yeah, man.
So that's kind of dope too, man. But you got to be able to appreciate your music. That's all I'm saying. And if your album that you can vibe to right now, if it's still not good enough to vibe to in 5 years or more, it wasn't really that good in the beginning. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's where a lot of these younger rappers are going to be in the near future, because they're not making timeless music. They're making popular now music. You know what I mean?
You know what though? I kind of fault Jay-Z for that shit.
Okay.
And the reason being is because I heard back when and I mean, I'm not saying this to take away from Jay-Z, but what Nas was saying, when they had that whole beef, and he's like, I just don't drop. Nas I don't be just dropping shit. It takes me a couple years because I'm trying to get an essence and put out a good product. I think Jay was trying to just put, more on getting out product, which is good for business. I mean, I respect that, but I think that's what people did. They took that formula, was well, we don't have to be as good if we put out a lot of shitty music.
He started that whole mass production mindset. So and I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Because when you got a good artist like Nas, it makes you want to hear more music all the time. Because I'm like, okay, that last album was dope. Now, when's the next one coming out? But he's smart though. He does make you wait a little bit so you can build up some anticipation. Well, so that's smart. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's not just saying, I just want to sell millions of records. You know what I mean? I want to really make something that's gonna be timeless. You know what I mean? So Dominic said, can we name our top 5 albums off the top of our heads? I mean, I got a few. Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Let's see, Big Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane. 36 Chambers Wu-Tang. Only Built for Cuban Links. And Redman, What the Album. That would be the first ones I could think of, And maybe some more out there that I can think of later, but those are the first ones that pop in my head.
My top 5. Well, this ain't my top 5, but the 5 that I'll say this would be the 5 that define me. Yeah. I would probably say Cypress Hill, Temple of Boom, Mobb Deep's Infamous, Goody Mob, Soul Food,
classic.
I'm gonna throw Smith and Wesson The Shining in there.
Yeah, that's a good one too, man.
Honestly, on a pop level, it would have to go, which is the double album. I would have to go All Eyes on Me.
Okay.
As far as the 5 that defines me, I would have to.
I forgot Illmatic too.
Yeah, damn. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't do a top 5 with albums.
It's hard, man. That's one of the ones you really got to think about for a couple of days.
Now, if I was to do a top 5 and album again, this could change. But yeah, Illmatic would be there.
Illmatic.
Paid in Full.
Yeah, Paid in Full. See, it's It's so many, man.
It takes a million
plethora of music that was just booming in the 90s.
It takes a million, Nation of Millions to hold us back.
PE, come on now. EPMD, their first and second albums, I mean, hell, most of their albums were classics, man. So it's hard, man.
I'm trying to think what else could go. I would have to say Run DMC's Raising Hell. Raising Hell. Yeah, Tougher Than Love was good, but I think Raising Hell was like, they had like a lot of classics. And LL Cool J's I'm Bad. LL Cool J's I'm Bad.
Yeah. Hell, his Mr. Smith album was one of my favorites too. I mean, it's a lot, man. You know, AZ, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He had some classic albums. I mean, it's so many of them, man. But it's hard to really narrow down. If I had to really name my ultimate top 5, it would take me about 2 or 3 days to really say, okay, I got to think about this. But definitely Illmatic is going to be one of them. I can tell you that.
Illmatic,
and The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Those two, it don't matter what day of the week it is. Those two are in my top 5. I can listen to both of them forever and ever and ever. So, there you have it. You know, Dominic, what's your top 5? You want to put them in the chat?
And anybody in the chat, you can put, what's your top 5?
Let's see what you got.
So,
yeah, man. You know, it ain't all about us. We want to hear from y'all, too.
Be interactive.
Yeah.
Hug somebody. I mean, don't hug, but, you know what I'm saying? Just tell them what the 5 is.
Yeah, man. So, you know, but it's some real good ones out there, man. You know, MC Lyte, her first album was like a classic. She was one of the first albums I bought. Audio 2, that was one of the first albums I bought. Top 10.
Yeah, that's probably like even though they say whatchamacallit was the EPMD was the most.
Yeah.
But, man, they gotta be a close second.
Yeah. So, there it is, man, you know. So, but let us know what y'all think. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, man, it's so many different albums out there. It would take me a while to really narrow it down to 5. Biggie's first album would probably be in there. You know, if he ain't in there, he would be like number 6, right outside of the list. But I think he would definitely be in there for me. But
and definitely Life After Death, cause shit, man. There's nobody till somebody kills you. Oh my god, that shit was.
That dude, he was just a monster, man. And I mean, hell, the Red and Meth album, the Blackout, the first one, man, they really blacked out on that joint.
Damn.
Now the second one, I have to admit, it wasn't as great to me. It was good, but it wasn't great like the first one. That's why I said some rappers can't pull it off as good. When they did the Blackout 2, it was good, but it wasn't great to me. You know, so, but that Blackout, that first one, man, I remember I first got a copy of that, and I bumped that for like a whole year straight, you know what I mean? I would just let it play. Whenever I was in my car, just let it play. Wick said Tupac, Me Against the World. So that's the only one you got? We talking top 5, baby. What's the rest?
Top 5,
top 5. Gotta give us some more, you know.
And that's actually a good album. Actually, you know what's crazy? You know, I need to start going back and cause my man, the dude off of, was it 92.3 the beat, or the one that does the DJing and like they play the samples off the album. Yeah, I like them doing that.
Yeah, I need to go back and 93.
I need to go back and like start, putting them together, man.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, those are cool videos to watch.
Dominic, we just talking about top 5 favorite albums, man. You must have jetted out the conversation. We talking about your question, the top 5 albums. So we was asking if y'all would name y'all top 5 albums instead of just being us. Yeah. So, but yeah, Tupac's Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, I think was my favorite album from Tupac. That was my favorite.
Machiavelli was good, but I don't think it led up to that same hype as All Eyes on Me. One, because of the production of Dre and and all that stuff.
Yeah. You know who I thought I really wanted to see go farther? RBX.
Dr. Dre. You remember you were dead broke and oh man. Yo, that A-Wall, oh man.
I really wanted to hear more from him, man, because he was so dope, man. He just had such a dope, unique style, man. It was like nobody was rapping like him, you know what I mean? And when you got that uniqueness, man, I gotta listen to you. You know what I mean? DLC would have been dope if he had been able to do
and that record, and that accident.
Right, messed his grown up or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's been some stuff out there, but that would be, you know, that's how it is for me. But yeah, I mean, what else y'all got, man? Y'all ain't gonna share nothing else with us for y'all top 5 albums?
Top 5 to the lie.
I think we only got Dominic here right now. I think. But either way, man, we probably gonna close out. You know what I mean? Wrap it up. If y'all not really sharing anything, so we might or might not be here next week.
Yeah, because
we got a little something going on where Howie's going to be a little busy next week. So,
Chicago!
Yeah, he going to Chi-Town.
Chi-Town!
Chirac.
Well, maybe not Chirac. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, what that part of Chi-Town?
Yeah, we going to.
We going to the window.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't built for this street shit. I'm pussy as shit. We probably gonna go where the white folk at. Yeah, we gonna be. But to be real though, like my neighbor that used to live next to us, like they got she's celebrating her birthday.
Okay.
So she wanted us to come up.
That's
so
what's up.
We're gonna be up there.
Yeah. So, you know, next week we may not be here. It's gonna be a few different weeks where we may not have a show. Because, you know, he's got something going on, then I got something going on later on in December for a few weeks. So we're going to see how that turn out, but we're going to keep y'all posted on everything. So whenever we got a show, y'all will know. We'll post it in the page, of course, and we'll keep going. So, but yeah, let me know how Chi-Town is, man, because, you know, I've never been. I had an aunt that used to live there. For a long time, like since I was kids, but like within the past 2 or 3 years, she moved down to Georgia.
I'm trying to get that pizza, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be off keto. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be off keto that week.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You going, man? You gonna get wasted on that deep dish because they in competition up there. Yeah. Now I like deep dish, but I'm seeing with me being from New York, I like the New York style. You know what I mean? The big pie. Yeah. It don't have to be deep dish. It just got to be that big New York fold a lot pizza. You know what I mean?
When you eat it,
man,
cut the shit out the corner of your
lip. So you just got to know how to bite it. You got to do it at the side. You know what I mean? You got to go from the side, and then all the oil come out at the end and be all down your wrist. And all the cheese be burning your damn mouth.
That's when you know it's official. They cut that lip.
Right.
Like,
man. So that's one thing I missed when I first came down to North Carolina, man. They didn't have no New York style pizza. They've gotten better now.
Yeah, they got.
Still not exactly the same.
I would say Mario's is pretty close.
Yeah.
Mario's is pretty close. Elizabeth's.
Yeah, Elizabeth's is close.
They're close. They're not as good as Mario, but they're not bad. Home Slice is pretty good.
I've never
been to Home Slice. Home Slice.
Nah,
it's in Greensboro actually. Okay. They got a food truck too, but they got a restaurant. It's like on College.
Check them out.
Yeah, on College. Home Slice is pretty good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, ain't nothing like some New York style pizza, man. I think because I grew up on it, my heart just is still attached to it. You know what I mean? Because no matter how broke you were, you could scrounge up a couple of dollars for a slice. You know what I mean? You just going to any pizza shop. Yo, let me get a slice. You know what I mean? That's it. Yo, let me get a slice. And it was just, some places were better than others, but man, when you found, it was like at least 8 out of every 10 were always really good. It was only like 1 or 2 every now and then that you were like, oh, they slices wasn't that good. or the slices were too crunchy. You know, when you fold it in half, it broke. You know what I mean?
Damn.
There was only a rare few places like that when it would mess up. But 8 out of 10 times you got a good slice, no matter where you went. So, but yeah, man. Well, yeah, we got Chick-fil-A down here in North Carolina. I don't know how it is in New York City. I know they didn't have it when I left New York, but I don't know about now. They probably got it now, especially like in Manhattan.
Oh, that Chick-fil-A though. Oh, they got one. They got one coming to Boston. Oh, okay. From what I heard. But yeah, the Chick-fil-A in the summertime.
Yeah, man.
That peach shake.
Yeah, man.
Yo, that's how I got all most of my weights.
That is a good one, but I like the one that they do around Christmas time. It should be about to come up. It's like a peppermint shake or something like that.
I like that one too.
Yo, that joint is so good.
It ain't got shit on that peach though. Got that peach, boy.
See, I'm more of a fan of peppermint. So peppermint is my thing. And then right behind that in February, we got the Shamrock Shake. You know, they're going to be losing their mind over that joint.
Oh, man.
And it's full of all kinds of calories and sugar and shit.
And diabetes. They're losing that fucking left leg that you don't really need. Yeah, I just drink the shake. I don't need this left leg.
Right, I don't even need that leg. You know what? I'll be all right. I can hop to work.
I'm on this good leg to keep myself balanced.
Yeah, man. So, now I be waiting for them certain times of year. I know, you know, during Christmas time, it's the Chick-fil-A peppermint milkshake. I think it's like peppermint mixed with something else like chocolate or something like that. But
yeah, that one's good though.
And then right around February, March, you know, they do the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's for St. Patrick's Day. You know, and it's some other stuff too I can't think of. And you know, certain times of the year you just know, okay, it's time for that joint to come back. So. But yeah, man. I guess we can wrap it up, man. You got anything you want to share?
Nah, just remember, one, we appreciate all of you who listening to us. Check out our YouTube channel on like Triad Hip Hop Podcast. I kind of slipped up, like I'm looking down, like what are you? It's like it's Triad Hip Hop Podcast on everything. Again, exactly. Check that out and check out our Instagram. We appreciate y'all being with us. You know, thank you. And you know, next week we won't have a show, but you know, we will probably keep you up to date. You know, and definitely, you know, just keep informed with us and keep checking in.
Exactly. So tell all your friends, Triad Hip Hop Podcast. I don't care how you say it, podcast, hop, hip, triad. Say it backwards.
Yeah, do some Missy Elliott shit.
Right. So just definitely look us up. We got YouTube channel going. We got Facebook, of course, and we got Instagram going on as well. So we trying to spread the word, keep hip hop alive, and just spread that true essence of hip hop. So anyway, for Triad Hip Hop Podcast, this your man Kurt Dog.
And I'm Howie.
And we're gonna see y'all next go around.
Peace.